How's it going, guys? You're watching the ultimate LEGO DIY show. I'm your host, Riley. Today we're going to build wearable LEGO helmets. Let's do it. Alright, this is Iron Man. This is one of the LEGO helmets I've created. I've created a bunch. You can check them out on my Instagram. You can see here he has an opening faceplate. It's connected with magnets, and that flips up. And this is completely wearable. I won't put it on now, but you can see pictures of me wearing it here, and some of my other helmets as well. Here you can see the Mandalorian. It's an unfinished mock, not quite done with it because the lid comes off, but you can see kind of the techniques that I've used to create this. And it's a work in progress, but I'm going to show you today how you can make your own easily. All right, so let's gather our bricks, start to build. All right, so these are all the pieces we're going to use, and I'll show you right now. These are mixel joints, look like this, very useful. We need those are a necessity. And then we have regular hinges. Just two types of hinges snap together like that. And then we have jumper plates here, lots of those you're gonna need. And then modified jumper plates, more hinges that are click hinges, so gives it a bit more rigidness. That's a word. And then we have 1x plates. I'm sure you'll have a lot of those. And 2x plates right here. And then just optional things are tiles. You can even use plates if you don't have a lot of tiles to put on top. And then the last thing we're gonna need are wedge plates. All right, wedge plates, super useful. A couple different types. We got the 3x6 wedge plate, a 2x4 wedge plate, and then the 2x3 wedge plate. We're gonna use all those in mass quantities, but if you don't have those, you can just build the exoskeleton and then cover it with plates. So I'm gonna lay a bunch of these out. I'm gonna grab these pieces. These are regular hinges here. I'm gonna get the rest of these out of here. All right, so we got all our big pieces laid out here. We're gonna build each little section like it is. So we'll start with the smaller sections and then we'll do the bigger ones. So you're gonna take 2x4s and some hinges and then some mixel joints like that. We're gonna start with our 4x8 and we're gonna build a bunch of these. So we're gonna take 2 hinges like this. All right, and those complete hinges, and then we're gonna get a bar and then a clip. I'm gonna put these on the sides like so. And we're gonna take 2 2x4s on the sides. And we're gonna take 2 complete clips after that, here and here. We're gonna do 2 more complete clips here and here. And almost completed with this. We're gonna take these ball joints and we're gonna see where the bar is. And that goes inside of this piece like this. So the one that goes inside is the bar, and on this piece, the one that goes inside is the ball. So we're gonna put the ball on the same side as the bar. It'll just make it a lot easier when we're matching things up later. We're gonna put that in the middle of the 2x4 so that there's a 1x1 gap on the side there. And then go to the other side, do the same thing, make sure you keep them matched up. So we have our first completed segment, and now we just need to build a few more of these. We're gonna do the same thing with the big ones, except just evenly spaced out. All right, we have our first bigger section completed. And as you can see, it's basically the same as this. They'll connect the same, except I switched the 2x4s to 4x4s on the side to account for the same space taken up. All right, we've built about a few of these. Not sure how many because I don't want to count. We're not going to use those last 2 pieces, but I'm going to show you how to put this together and assemble it so that it fits your head. So we're going to start putting together 3 of these smaller pieces, and we're going to bend and attach these ball joints like that. Be careful, sometimes it snaps because it's not in the right place yet. Just like that. So now we have this area. You can see the hinge of this. Now I'm gonna do another one like this, and then you can see how this one is different. And then we'll see if we can connect them together and get the right shape. And this will also depend on how big your head is. You know, if you got a big ego. All right, see this? This one has less of a hinge than this one here. And you can tell that just by the areas down here in the middle. These two pieces are hinged less than these two pieces. This is more of an acute angle. I know, sorry, big words. All right, it's looking like we're gonna do this. We're gonna switch this around. All right, guys, here it is. This is the back, and this is the front. This is where we're gonna attach the visor. And I'm gonna take my tester visor and attach that, see if I can. And this is it here. This is something I crafted. We're gonna show you how to build this. Put it upside down. See if I can. All right, here's what we have. I'm gonna test fit this, see if it fits. And if it doesn't, we'll make adjustments. But let's see first. Guys, that is a perfect fit, as you can see. All right, so our test visor worked good. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna cover this in our second layer of plates. And I want you to show you the shape that I'm going with. May differ if you have a smaller head. Also a tip, if you do have a smaller head, you can use 6x6 plates and just bring these pieces in a little bit, and that'll bring the sides in, and then it'll adapt based on the head shape that you're going for. So, flip this over, and we're gonna add a bunch of 4x4 plates to the middle side here, like that. All right, so on the bigger sections, you're gonna actually take a 4x6 plate, and then that'll still fill it out. Because they're bigger and they're 6 wide, we're just gonna match that with the 4x6 plate instead of the 4x4. All right, so you can see this is starting to take shape, and it's actually starting to look pretty cool. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take these bottom plates on each of these. We're gonna make another, or we're gonna grab another. So for example, this would be a 6x8 plate. I'm just gonna slap it on top and then seal that layer in. We'll work on these layers a little later, but I wanna show you guys how I'm gonna get the shape on the top after we add this. All right, we got the middle covered up, starting to look pretty slick. I'm gonna try this on one more time to show you guys. Like that. Looks a little too big for my head right now, but once we get the faceplate on, it'll look a little better. All right, now that we have this, we're going to cover up the gaps. As you can see, there's these weird shaped gaps here, 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 all over basically. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take a wedge plate that matches that, and we're gonna place it on all of these. So let me grab my 2x4 wedge plates, which is what we're gonna use for this section here. All right, here I have my 2x4 wedge plates. I'm kind of running low on some of these colors. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use black, cover this, and I'm gonna make a cool looking battle helmet. So I'm gonna move this over here. And then I'm gonna grab a bunch of black pieces there. And you're gonna need both types. You're gonna need left and right. So there's right and there's right and left, or left to right, like that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take these, and as you can see, it's gonna cover this gap perfectly. We're just gonna go just like that. We're gonna go all the way across on one side, and with the opposite piece all the way across on the other. Perfect. So now you can see all those gaps are covered in between. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab a bunch of black tiles and fill in the rest of these gray pieces here. So we're gonna grab those from this. I'll just drop my other drawer. And then I'm gonna put these pieces back. We're gonna use a bunch of these 2x4s and 1x4s to fill in these gaps here. This. I'm thinking we'll make like a Batman type helmet, because I'm making a bat suit, and a helmet or a cowl would go great with that. So almost done with this side. It's pretty fast work. You just have to have the tiles and the know-how to do it right the first time. The first time I designed one of these helmets, it took me forever, and I had to take it apart multiple times to get the shapes right. Anyway, dump those out. So we're just gonna keep tiling these until it's all filled in. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. We're going to stop the build right there. This is part 1. Part 2 will be up pretty soon, in 1 week. So be sure to check that out. If it is up already, I'll put it right here. But for now, subscribe and stay tuned for more brick science.